So here is a sheet of plastic canvas, and what we're first going to do is we're going to first count 42 grid holes, and this is going to be the width of the bag. So count 42 grid holes, mark it, and then we're going to cut it, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So this is where 42 grid holes stops, and I'm gonna just cut. I'm gonna cut the whole way up straight. So for the first part, we're going to count 25 grid holes and then mark. So we're going to count 25 grid holes going up the same direction as how we cut the tapestry. So now we'll count 25, and then I'm going to show you what to do. We're going to fold it. First, you're going to first mark it. Okay, there's my 25. Mark it and fold it, and then fold it straight. Use your hands to press it so that we can form the shape of the bag. So here's my pliers. I use my pliers to kind of really bend it, to kind of press it hard and really form that shape. So if you have pliers, it's best that you use them and press it. So you're gonna press it, and let me show you how it looks like. We have this sharp bend, and that's how we want it. So those are 25 grid holes, and now we're going to count 12 grid holes for the base. 12 grid holes for the base. We're going to mark 12. So here's 12 grid holes, and I'm gonna press it straight, fold it. Remember, this is just to form the shape of the bag. So now I'm gonna grab my pliers and make this more firm. Okay, so this is the base that we're working on. So this is how it looks like. First, remember 25 grid holes, then 12 for the base. Now we're going to count 25. We're going to count 25 grid holes for the back of the body. So these are 25 grid holes. Mark it and then fold it and press it hard with pliers. So this is how it looks like so far. You can see we're getting somewhere. So now we're gonna work on making the top flap. As you can see, the base is pretty much done. So I'm going to lay it out for you guys. Alright, so we did 25 grid holes for the body, then 12 grid holes for the base, and then 25 for the body, and then now we're gonna do 10 for the front flap. So now we're gonna count 10 grid holes, and then you're going to fold it and bend it. Remember to use your pliers just to make it a bit more strong. So this is how it looks like after forming all the lines. So we're going to put some yarn. I want to put alize cotton gold as a design, just right in the middle of the flap, and then fluffy yarn all over around. I made a sample earlier just to show you guys how it's going to look like. So it's going to just be right in front of the flap, and I'm going to use a slanted stitch. I'll show you guys how to do that, and the rest I'll fill it up with fluffy yarn. Okay, so now for the alize cotton gold, we're gonna start exactly on the 4th grid hole, and then from the bottom there are 5 grid holes. So it's gonna be 5 at the bottom and 4 on the sides. That's gonna be filled with the kartopu fluffy yarn. So it's 4 from the sides and then 5 from the bottom. Okay, 5 from the bottom, and wherever they meet, that's where we're going to start. See, just like this. I'm going to make the slanted design. Like, you can make straight stitches if you'd like to, but I prefer the slanted design. So wherever they intersect 4 by 5, that's where we're gonna start. Like, you can really create your own design, guys. Like, you can place it anywhere you want. You just have to be symmetrical and even to your design, but you can pretty much do anything. So we are holding a strand of yarn at the back of the tapestry. Remember, guys, if you haven't watched my first video, you should go watch it on how to start a strand of yarn and how to end it. So that's what we're doing. We're just gonna hold the strand of yarn at the back, and then we're going to create a slanted stitch on the 4th row. We are going to pass the needle through the same space 2 times, 3 times, and then we're going to first try to fill the small corner at the side. We're just going to go through each hole as we're going through our design. Like you guys can mark with a ruler and a marker wherever you want your design to be, and you can follow it if that's easier for you. But here we're supposed to first fill the corner, okay, before we can go on with the slanted stitch. And remember to keep holding your strand at the back. So we're going through each hole until we reach the corner. I hope you guys can see it. Okay, so now I'm just going to place the needle just right next to the slanted stitch at the bottom, and then I'm going to just go on. When you're holding the piece of yarn at the back and then also working the stitches, remember that you're hiding the yarn into those stitches, okay? I hope you guys can understand what I mean. You need to hide that yarn with stitches as you're going around in through the plastic canvas. So this is how it looks like. You can see here at the back, the piece of yarn is hidden right just inside the stitches. See? That's how it should be. And then you're gonna keep on going on until you're right at the end of the strand of the yarn. So we're going to flip this upside down, and then we're going to tuck in the yarn the opposite way. Okay, so you're going to pass the tapestry needle just through the stitches. So just slide it through under and pull it out to the end. and then you're going to pull the strands tight on both sides. They're all going in the opposite directions, okay? So you're going to pull them tight, and then we're going to cut them. So you see how neat this is? There's no need for tying knots or anything. So now we're going to fill up, go on until we reach at the end. And remember, we're going to leave 4 spaces, 4 grid holes from the other side, so that we can put the fluffy yarn on as the design, and 5 from the bottom. So the fluffy yarn will be around in those corners. When you're starting another strand of yarn, you just pretty much go on wherever you left off, and then repeat the process the whole way for the whole design. Hold the piece of strand, make sure that the strand of yarn at the back is hidden at the stitches, and then you just go on, make 1 line, then go to the next line, make it again, make the next line until we have 5 lines. When you reach here at the 4th grid hole, remember, when you reach there, then remember we have a corner that we have to fill right at the bottom. So we're going to fill the small corner right there, fill it up, and then you hide the tapestry and you hide the piece of yarn at the back of the stitches when you're done, and then we shall begin the next line together. we're going to count 4 grid holes, and that's where our slanted stitch is going to begin. And remember that slanted stitch is in opposite direction, so we're starting there, and then we're going to create a slant, and you're going to have to go in the same place where the yarn below is. Okay, do not leave any space. Remember, when we're working on plastic canvas, you have to cover everything, so you have to always meet all the stitches together. They all have to intersect in each grid hole. So we're going to first start working on our corner. First fill the corner up and make sure that you're holding that piece of yarn at the back. You're just doing the same things. So you see up close what I mean when you have to make sure that the yarn is intersecting everywhere, so that we do not see the plastic canvas. So I'm filling up my corner, and then I'll go on with the slanted stitch. So we're going to go on working this whole line. Remember that you're always hiding the yarn at the back, and then just keep on going. We're going to use some more strands of yarn, so good luck, and I'll see you when we're done with the 5 lines. After making the 5 lines, we're going to put kartopu fluffy yarn around the rest of the bag canvas. So let's get started with this. And now we're going to put the fluffy yarn all around these corners and on the rest of the plastic canvas on the body. So just gonna use straight stitches. I'm not doing any slanted stitches, but you can just go anyhow you want. I'm gonna go straight stitches, so just at this corner. We're doing the same thing, okay guys, as I repeat again, we're doing the same thing. Hold the strand of the yarn at the back, and then keep on working your stitches to the way that you want, and just make sure that everything is tight and that you're not leaving any spaces. So we're just gonna go all around this border on straight lines, and make sure that you're also putting the fluffy yarn right where the alize yarn is meeting, so let them intersect together. Okay, don't leave anything between them.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. To be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
You'll tend to see that some of the fluffy yarn is hidden under the stitches, so you just use your tapestry needle to kind of make them pop out.
I got time, it's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me.
So guys, I don't really need to explain so much. We're just going to cover the whole canvas with the yarn. So just go on working around everywhere. When I reached the body, I calculated 8 grid holes, so you guys can skip 8 grid holes and then keep on working the yarn all around till you're fully done covering it all up.
Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
So these are the 8 grid holes that I mean. You can skip 8 grid holes just to cover as much ground as possible. We're not making it so big and we're not making it so small, so that we do not waste a lot of time covering small stitches.
Meant to be in the great outdoors, forever
this is how it looks like when it's completely covered up. So I hope you guys are all at the same stage as I am and do not have any difficulties. Let's fold it up and let's see if it's gonna work. There's our bag and the front flap is gonna fall down. And now we're gonna work on the sides. Our bag needs to have two sides, so we still have some tapestry canvas that we're going to fill. We're going to cut into the shape of the bag. Remember we had 25 on the sides of the body and 12 on the base. Okay. So we have 25 on the body, okay, and then 12 on the base. So when we're cutting our canvas for the sides, it's going to be 25 by 12 grid holes, and then we're going to cut two pieces. So it's 25 on the side, and then on the base 12 grid holes. So we can just try and fit in the canvas, and you can see it's just right at the same level as our body, so we're right on track. And then now we're going to try and close the flap, and you're going to notice that, you know, at the top we did only 10 grid holes, so it wouldn't close if we were like to close the flap. And what we can do to fix this is we're going to bend the inner plastic canvas on the side. We're going to bend it into half just to give the bag an edge, and then it will be able to close properly. I'm going to grab my pliers and I'm going to make my fold a bit more firm. And we're only doing it at the top, we're not going to go through the whole way down, we're just doing it at the top. So just keep that strong, firm grip. We're going to fill the sides with the fluffy yarn as well, and we're going to do it in half. So I want to show you guys that if we're to just cover the canvas with only one line like this, there would be a gap, a very huge gap that would make the bag very fragile. Like anything can just kind of get in the way and pull the yarn, so we have to split it into half and cover it in halves. So that will be, we're going to cover 6 grid holes and then work our way up and then repeat on the other side. And then we're going to do it on both of the sides, and then I'll see you guys when we're done. Do is we're going to pass the tapestry needle through both grid holes on opposite sides, and we're going to do that the whole border as we're going down to the base, and we're going to do that for the other side as well. So here is my fluffy yarn. This is the yarn that I'm going to use to close the borders. So I'm going to grab my needle, and then I'm going to put both points together, and then I'm going to just turn my tapestry needle around and around and round and round as we're passing through both grid holes. on going on. When you reach the base, you don't need to stop, just go on, passing around, and you'll just stop exactly where the base is. Here I have already completed both sides. They're all covered up properly, and then now we're going to work on closing the other side. So we're going to just close this, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pass the tapestry needle through the grid holes on both sides and just go on until you reach at the base, at the bottom. So you just get down to the bottom and through each hole, and you can pass 2 times so that you can be able to close the plastic canvas. Remember, we do not want to see it. So this is how it looks like when you're done covering all the sides. And now what we're left with is the finishing, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. We're just going to do a finishing across the whole top. So we're going to pass the tapestry needle right through every hole, and do this throughout the whole border, everywhere. And then when you're done, we're just going to stick the tapestry needle inside. You just leave in the ends. So here's my needle, and I'm going to pass it through anywhere, inside, outside, whichever is easy for you. And then finish our bag. So we're just going to go on covering the whole plastic canvas. As you can see, that white line, yeah, I don't want to see that, so let's go on covering. Go up and down the grid holes, round and round. If you can see it up close, you just pass through all the small tiny holes and just go around So we are done with the finishing. It's all neat and clean. So it's time to accessorize. I'm gonna put this bag lock. So it is a clip-on bag lock. It has some teeth that can dig into the plastic canvas very easily. So if you can look closely, it has this teeth just right up at the top that you can just clip in. And this other piece has some kind of metal clamps at the back that you can just, we're gonna have to open up and then dig them in the plastic canvas. So I'm going to measure the bag, and then I want to get right in the middle, and that's where I'm going to put my bag lock. So you can see the teeth. I'm just going to press them into the plastic canvas. So we're going to press down the bag lock. Just press it into the plastic canvas, and do not use any pliers, because if you use pliers it's going to damage the lock. So use your hands and just press it hard until you can feel that the bag lock cannot move anywhere. Now for the piece, for the other piece, we're going to put it on at the bottom, and it has these teeth that I say that we're just gonna open them, and then we're just gonna press it into the canvas. As you can see, we're gonna use pliers to open it up. We're just going to push the teeth into the canvas. Just make sure that you're putting it in the right place, and to make sure that your bag will lock with ease. So that looks okay for me, so just push it in. It's kind of a bit tough because the grid holes are smaller than my bag lock. So you're gonna have to really put in some energy into it. So I decided not to put this piece inside, but if you want to, you can put it inside before you bend the clips back in position. But because I'm gonna put lining, I do not need it. So when you put the teeth in, you're gonna just bend back those teeth, the claws that were closed, and then we're just gonna press them inside. this is how it looks like. So if you have any logos or any labels, then you can, it's optional, you can put them with the way that you can, with hot glue or with the yarn. So bag lock, check, label, check, and now we're left with the bag chains. So these are the bag chains that I have left in stock, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crochet a piece on top of them so that I can make it a bit more longer. I'm just going to pass the tapestry needle around the ring, and I'm going to pass up and down the canvas to get a tight stitch around the ring. And I'm only going to do it just at the bottom. I'm not going to do it all over the ring. I'm just going to do it at the bottom so that my bag is able to move with ease. So this is how it looks like. Just weave in the ends whenever you're done with the strings. Just weave them in nicely, and there's no need to make a mess. And then just cut off any pieces left popping. So now what we have left is to crochet a piece to just join the back chains. So this is how it looks like so far. So we're just gonna now crochet a piece just right at the top of the chains. You can make it long, you can make it short. We are going to crochet 50 chains to to make a nice size of bag handle. And you can double crochet, you can go you can do single crochet or two rows just to make the strap much more stronger, and then you just close at the end of the chain, and then just slip knot, and that's it. There's our bag. Just cut off the ends and you're good to go.